A very good evening and welcome to Sacramento as we take you through into another build-up to that Longines World Cup qualifier. Tonight, though, $78,000 Premier Air welcome class, the first of the big classes of the week here in California, and there's a 150 opener for those looking towards that World Cup qualifier later on into the week as well. Wonderful lineup once again, as we saw there. Connor Swale was the winner last time out. Not with us this time, but we've got a combination that was second here last year and a host of those that have been in the top tens in the recent weeks as well. So lots to look forward to as part of tonight's agenda under the roof here in Sacramento. Just coming into the end of the day. 6:30 local time, and just as we get ready to go into this evening class. So looking forward to this, and here's a rundown of who to expect as part of our class. It's kicking off with Sean Cassidy and NKH Centre Blue, winners of the Nations Cup Grand Prix in Canada earlier on this year. Cassio Rivetti, the Olympian for Brazil. Billy Dorito, down to super list of young talent in here too, including Eliza Bros there. Simone Berg and Happy Fee. Tally Young, another of the younger riders coming through with Valiant to Bellevue. And Robert Blanchett, with a list of good finishes this season up in Canada, with Chardonnay to come for him in our first 12 on the lineup. Then later on we see Carrie Reefer, recent Grand Prix winner here in California as well. Stern Di Folletti will go 15th in the order. Charlie Jones of Great Britain increases the number of nations taking part. And Regan Toom, just 16 here as part of our class today with Gulf's Emir. Simon Schroeder, representing Germany, alongside Camilo Rueda of Colombia, back to the USA, and several with their second rides here with Cassio Rivetti and Eliza Bros coming up with number 2. Portugal with Bruno Diniz and Gucci Mester takes us up to 30 in the order, and those coming into the latter part with Skylar Wyman, Jill Humphrey, Caroline Ann Lynn, and Olivia Cliver there to complete the lineup for this first round of tonight's jump-off class. And course all set by Marina D'Azevedo, our course designer here throughout the week here in Sacramento, with a time allowed of 78 seconds. And looking at 13 fences on the course here, 16 jumping efforts in this indoor arena, and some really good opening salvos to be fired with a set of 2 doubles, and then of course that related distance coming up as they would do indoors. So looking forward to this, and it's going to see a really interesting twisting line to finish off. Double at 11A and B, cross the centre for an Oxa at 12, and then a turn to the left to then complete to fence 13 after that. That's the lineup of what's coming up for our class here tonight. I say the first of the big classes of the week here from Sacramento as part of this Longines World Cup show. Final preparations being made as we speak, and to be joined by the singing of the national anthem in just a few moments' time as well. Last year seeing some terrific competition. Connor Swale in top class form. Just finishing touches being made to this Sacramento arena. Always a wonderful cauldron of exciting sport to watch. Great atmosphere here each time under the roof, and going to be packed out all week, and I think sold out already for that Saturday night spectacle as well, for that Longines World Cup qualifier too. Air Premier, the sponsors of tonight's welcome class, as we saw just over 30 coming forward in the first round of this, and just moments away from our first coming up. Going to see this week 3 big classes coming here from Sacramento. Tomorrow you can join us for the speed class, and then on Saturday night for that Longines World Cup qualifier. One of 8 qualifiers that take us through the season of the North American League that gets into full flow over the coming weeks, taking us everywhere from Washington, the National Horse Show, to run, and some wonderful stops along the way. Red carpet heading out for the welcoming of our national anthem singer, which will be Anna Gilmore, here this evening to start off proceedings in fine style for tonight's welcome class. Just a moment from our anthem singer heading on out. Marina Azevedo, course design has been building right across the United States throughout this year. Superb courses in Michigan just a few weeks ago, and now heading over to the West Coast. And now setting to welcome Anna Gilmore out for the singing of the national anthem as part of tonight's opening ceremonies for our Premier Air welcome class. Well, Anna Gilmore getting a full night of competition underway in fine style, and looking to follow that with the same kind of energy for those that are coming up in our class. So ready and set to run into this qualifier, this opening welcome for the week here, sponsored by Air Premier. And carpet goes up, first horse heads on in, and that'll be Sean Cassidy. Sean with the NKH Cento Blue, the 13-year-old for the October Hill Sales of down in Texas. Sean, who had such a brilliant win on this horse in Vancouver this year into the T-Bird session of the Longines FEI Nations Cup show, and won the Grand Prix there, put one of the biggest wins of his career on the scorecard, and now gets to be our opening rider into this welcome class to start us off this week here in Sacramento. Good chance to get a good view of this arena. Gauge it up, jumping back indoors. Means everything starts to come very thick and fast. Just a reminder, time allowed of 78 seconds over this track, designed by Marina Azevedo, our course designer here this week. Sean Cassidy then, NKH Cento Blue, a 13-year-old now by Centadel. Plenty of experience. Fairly new ride for him into 2023, and certainly gelled with it very quickly, as I say, for that 5-star Grand Prix win already under their belt. 1 and 2, plenty of space to get to those first couple of fences, and to the vertical at the second. Down the short side of the arena. Five just on the angle at the honeycombs. 6 A and B. Through that without any trouble at all. A little bit of curving line to the Marietta vertical after that at 7. One strider. First part comes down, so it just starts to get a little bit tight down there. Double at 11A and B, and a swift turn back here. Just gets a nice turn inside to 12 and 13 to complete. As I say, time allowed is 78 seconds. Not a lot of breathing space there. He was around in 75.59 and certainly did not hang around, finishing on the 4 there for the first away, Sean Cassidy and NKH Cento Blue. First out in this class. So first away giving us a little bit of an idea. Time, little bit tighter it would look like. As I say, he was a fairly efficient round there at 75.59, so no space for hanging around here. Sean Cassidy just drops the one rail, coming through the double. Sets up nicely for the next. And now hands over to Sophia Siegel and Unchained 2. 9-year-old horse by Keydown the Ravel for the US rider. Second this season in a Grand Prix down in Thermal back in March for the 22-year-old. That was on A Girl. She actually finished second in the World Cup qualifier here last year as well, so got some good form in this arena as well. And finished well into the Grand Prix in Thermal back in February at the Desert Horse Park. Number of those, as I say, in the field of the younger riders coming through. We've got several of the teenage riders through, and this 21-year-old. Look for our first of our clears of this welcome class. So plenty of room to get from 1 and 2. You're on tighter related line. Just got to get straight there, nicely up to the honeycomb fence. Two strides in the double across the centre. Just got a little travelled a little down there. Looks like on the 8 down to the Marietta vertical. And just starts to get forward down that line. Just on the 4 at the moment. Straightens up for the double of verticals again. Not so easy to get to. Coming home on the 8 and going to be a little over the time as well by the looks of it. As I say, not a lot of breathing space in there. So time in there too puts them on a score of 11 at 80.27 for Sophia. And Unchained 2. Sean Cassidy with a good round to start off. Finished on the 4 faults there. And here just ran out of space trying to get tight. Straight to that double. Nick Gamboa and Nicholas with NKH Mr. Darcy this time around for the NKH LLC. 10-year-old by Darko. Nick, 23 years of age, finished second in the Grand Prix in Traverse City back in August with this horse. Actually won a Grand Prix in Tryon back in July as well. Also went very well in the U25s in Wellington, Florida, in the early part of 2023. Again, tight around the launching clock. So the 5 strides down to the Oxford, keeping it a fairly tight line, just gets a little bit out, makes a little move across to the right at the vertical. Good quick correction though. 4 strides down to those next to those verticals in there, and again you can see he's getting so tight around those fences, leaving no inch spare as he's trying to get around this course. And you've just got to edge that line out a little bit to get square to those doubler verticals. Really efficient so far. Going to be really interested to see what the time is here. Should be okay. Going to be about 74, 75. 74.84 gives us the first the clears then, with Nick Gamboa going clear for Columbia. NKH Mr. Darcy really efficiently round there, 74.84, and Nick in fine form. And so gives us clear round number 1 of this Premier Welcome here this evening. Just smooth all the way around, like I say, not an inch wasted around this indoor arena. Cassio Rivetti now, and Cassio representing Brazil. Billy Dorito, the 13-year-old by Billy Mexico for the Monarch Farms. Horse that came out of Great Britain from the Billy stud of Will Funnell. And Donald Barwell down in Surrey in the UK. It's actually by Billy Mexico and along the line of another of their stallions in Vector. Cassio Rivetti, hugely experienced, twice Olympian in fact, 2016 and London in 2012 World Championships. Finished second in the Grand Prix at the Split Rock shows in Paso Robles in the last few weeks as well. Actually won 2-star Grand Prix with this horse at Delmar. Former ride of Stephen Moore of Ireland. Stephen had rode a number of horses too with Teddy Vlock. Just a little hold back down their line, just balances back up. Okay, looking at the time there, a lot of space here to do too much steadying. Well calculated around so far from Cassio Rivetti. Moves up for the 4, keeps on motoring down there. Just finding it easy to cover the ground so far. Delicate player of verticals at 11. Just might start to think about the time, might just be okay. Going to be very close. It's not going to be enough. It's going to be 2 times 79.37. 2 for Cassio Rivetti and Billy Dorito. And for them, just putting them, of course, outside of that qualifying for the jump off. Just a little steady in the round. The odd ad around there just making the difference. So time is certainly a pressure. Kendall Bourgeois now and Flinton M, the 13-year-old. Touchbreak gelding by Clinton. Kendall top 10 in that same Grand Prix where Cassio was second in the last few weeks in Paso Robles. And actually 5th here in this Longines World Cup qualifier back in 2022 here in Sacramento. Marina getting them into a nice forward roll to start with. That was unfortunately not what happened there. Just not the balance and energy at the first they needed. Ooh, and we're almost down to the trot. They try to just take out a stride, well, add a stride down that line on the 8. More balance down that line. reaching out to get the 4 down the next. Not much choice, that's what it is. Just flattens off coming out of the double as well. Score of 16 so far as they head for home. Might just get under the time. Yes, they do. 77.91, but 16. It's 4 down for Kendall Bourgeois this time. And 1 clear so far with Nick Gamboa and NKH Mr. Darcy. Lisa Bros now and Cadence van Mierhoff for the next for the USA on the 30-year-old by Cardente. 19-year-old from Freedom, California. Trained with Cassio Rivetti. Actually competed at the World Cup finals this year as well. Junior teams last year. Silver medal there. And there's Young Rider Championships in Traverse City. Grand Prix winner in May and the 2 stars at the Blame shows. She finished 4th last year here in the World Cup qualifier. Big jump, and again, just be careful they're not too forward going down there. Actually just keeps a nice smooth athletic run down. Attacking this with confidence so far. Just trying to wait into there, and it doesn't quite work. Just not quite having the full communication down that line. And we're always going a little quick down there. Loses the balance at the next of the doubles, well, Oxers rather, and finishing on a score of 8. 8 for Eliza Bros, 73.03, goes into 4th place so far with Cadento van Mierhoff. Of those completed, 1 clear at the moment. Nick Gamboa giving us the clear. Cassio Rivetti close on the 2 time faults. Sean Cassidy just with that 1 fence down as the first to go. Looks like Cassio Rivetti just having that discussion outside as they head on out with Eliza. There's the scores at the moment, at the very early stages of this Premier Air Welcome. Just waiting on the next upcoming as they appear around the corner. top 10 actually, the World Cup qualifier in Las Vegas last season. Well, 6th here last time around with Cooper as well. So good record here in Sacramento. Another one that just doesn't have a settled run to that first fence. And it really catches up with the second. They were unfortunately out of sorts from the first step. Both okay. We're taking a little tour of the arena, but both up and all right. So Simone Berg unfortunately eliminated with Happy FEI. One clear at the moment with Nicholas Gambernick with NKH Mr. Darcy. Always fun to get back indoors here in Sacramento. As I say, great atmosphere. They use the lights, the music, the energy that you can feel in this indoor arena. And climaxing with that later on this week with that Longines FEI World Cup qualifier. Josie Atherton now, 21 years of age. First World Cup show. Top 20 in the Young Rider Championships this year as well. Chipotle, the 11-year-old by Canaletta out of the line of South Pacific for the P3 Ventures for the young US rider. And that one not completely settled the first, but plenty of room to get to two. Ooh, came to come on the 5. And just a stutter coming into the water tray. Just got to get the cooperation working again. That's it, back in balance. That's going to put them on a stop. And unfortunately, not to be, as I say, several of the young riders coming in here. Good opportunity for them. Unfortunately, not quite working out today for Josie Atherton and Chipotle. Another of the younger riders coming through over the last few seasons. 23-year-old Tyler de Jong now. Little break from the FEI classes. Last jumped in those in the internationals back in June. Seen her featuring before now at the Desert Horse Park as well. Tyler de Jong and Valiant de Bellevue, the 14-year-old. Good pairing here. Got a good bit of experience together now. That should certainly bode well. This Premier Air welcome class. Again, a little steady at the first. Now in the groove at 2. Gets on a tighter run. Looked like they put the 6 in down there. Couple of different options to play with. stage at the moment, just getting balanced back to this big oxer, and then this double of verticals. It's going to be back on, and just in second part going down as well. Get back on the springs, get the balance bounce into the verticals. Time going to be rolling up as well. Gets them home with a big jump at the last. 83.63 means a total of 18 there for Tali de Jong and Valiant to Bellevue. Goes into the 7th of those completed riders so far. Nicole Hurnett now, and Calicus de Aubonnet, the 11-year-old by Jarnac for the French-bred ride for the Bluegate Stables. Competed in Ottawa in the last few weeks as well, out there on the grass as part of the 5-star there. And San Juan Capistrano were back in April in the 3-star. Again, just has to find the lines. Very easy for that vertical that's later in the course coming up. Just to get in the eye shot. Gets down confidently on the 5. Get the balance back for this vertical. Oh, and a good shot again. Just carries airborne. And just gets too tight. Balance back up again. Get straight. Coming home on the 4, weaving their way through. 4 a good score so far if they can keep it at that. And it's going to be a little bit of time as well. Total of 5. 79 seconds exactly. Total of 5 for Nicole there and Calicus de Aubonnet. Puts them into 4th place at the moment. A little bobbing and weaving here, and then a couple of strides out. Get straight again and off and running. Robert Blanchett, Chardonnay. Good, well-established partnership here. Actually a horse by Comme il faut. 12-year-old Chardonnay. Actually, terrific lines. Comme il faut and Jus de Pomme in the line for Chardonnay. Comme il faut, of course, that was ridden by Marcus Aining so successfully through to 5-star, and Jus de Pomme right the way back to that Olympic champion with Ulrich Kirchhoff in '96. Robert Blanchett. Rise for Ireland, grew up in Portola Valley here in California. Placed at Thunderbird in the last few weeks. One up at Spruce Meadows back in July as well. Actually finished 7th in this qualifier here last year. Good move at the first, just makes a little move to the right to give them space down that line. And then, yeah, really gets the energy down there to get the 5. Stretches out, quick run up. The 5th on course, not hanging around, as they certainly don't need to be around this course. Times putting some pressure on. Shouldn't be for this pair, though. A little bit more of a move to the right to give them some space to the Marietta vertical. Cut short down on that oxer, so going to put them on the 4. Again, quick 4 can make a difference. Hunts down to this double. Comes through there well. Is definitely not hanging around. This is going to be one of the quicker rounds. And I think might just taken, yes, they did that last fence with them as well. So going to put them a score of 8, unfortunately. 73-71, confident attack of the track. But lead them on the 8 faults for Blanchette and Chardonnay. Just gets strung out, drags the back legs onto the back of that oxer. Skylar Wireman now of the USA, and Kitoki, you'd be amazed to know, is by Kitoki, the 17-year-old. For Shane Wireman and Skylar. Skylar just 18 years of age, won 2-star Grand Prix in Del Mar in the last few months as well. Third in San Juan Capistrano back in April in the Grand Prix there as well. Still just clocking up the 1 clear so far with Nicholas Gamboa and NKH Mr. Darcy. Gets a nice shot at the first. Nice and balanced down that line. Good and in control. Little move to the right as they make the shift across 5. It's looking nice and balanced so far. And they just make a little bit move to the right of that fence to give themselves a little bit more space. Easy on the 4. A little bit more of a wider turn into that oxer there. Gets close to it. Oh, and then makes a move in on the right. Again, losing no time at all. Again, there's just enough pressure on time-wise. And just catches that. And this is going to struggle for time as well. It's going to be 2 for time, 79.65. Really well put together round early on. Just a couple of, well, a late rail for them, leaving them on the 6 and 2 time as well. 79.65 for the 18-year-old Skylar Wireman. And Sitoki. Uma O'Neill now of New Zealand, clockwise of Green Hills, 60-year-old by Clearway. Uma having gained some terrific experience, been close on the teams with New Zealand. So they look towards championships. Grew up in Hawaii, won actually at T-Bird in September, the Grand Prix there. Many have seen the video there as she was getting home there with a bridle, trying to disappear off the horse's head as she was coming over the closing stages. Held it together to go on and win. Long-time partnership now. This 16-year-old for the O'Neill jumping. Again, has that control, just asks on the reins, comes back nice and balanced. Low going into the double. On the 4 at the moment again. 4 is in good money at the moment in this class. Might just struggle on time though as well. Nice bouncing stride, but not covering the ground enough through that round. Goes on to a score of 5, so picks up a time fault there as well. 5 in total, 78.79 for Uma O'Neill and clockwise of Green Hill Z. Just makes a shift forward coming into that double to have that first part down. Puts her to what, 4th place at the moment on a score of 5. Several of those in around that region. Nicole Hornet in 5th place on 5 faults as well. Skylar Wyman behind that on the 6th. On to now Carrie Rufer and Carrie with Stern Folletti, the 12-year-old by Toulon, the Holsteiner for the Morningstar Sport Horses of California. Recent Grand Prix winner, Carrie in Paso Robles on that Split Rock Tour. Won the 2-star Grand Prix there. 2nd in Vancouver back in August. Took a little bit of a break over the summer through the FEI classes. Wins in Thermal. Also works as a big part of the family business as well. So combines the top class jumping with the day job too. Looking confident so far. Actually won the Welcome here last year. Super shot through there. Has been working over the last few years with Cameron Hanley, the Irish international rider, as a trainer. And the California with the base not too far from the Desert Horse Park down in La Quinta. Gets home with a super round, and it's the second of the clears, 77.70 clear round number 2. So it is clear for Carrie Rufer, Stern Folletti, and also clear for Nick Gamboa and NKH Mr. Darcy. So 2 on the board in this Premier Air Welcome here this evening. Super round for Carrie Rufer, looking again confident all the way around there. Picks the way around perfectly. Feeling good, the 2 at the top of the leaderboard at the moment, so we will have a jump off for this welcome class. Matt Archer now, and Luigi van der Bisiop, the 12-year-old by Bemeka de Moose for the US rider, for the Reese Farm. Hailing from San Francisco. And he's competed a host of shows across the West Coast and then over to Traverse City in Michigan. Good start. Nice energy down there. Gets down on the 5. Nice curve up to fence 5 then at the vertical. All just came up well for him. Pace-wise looking good so far as well. Ooh, right down the pace. This double of verticals, taking the care through there. Time-wise should be okay as well. Could be a succession of clears coming up. And Matt Archer looking good as well, 75.79. So we'll put, suddenly we've got 3 clears on the leaderboard. Matt Archer going there with Luigi van der Bishop, joins Carrie Rufer and Nick Gamboa as the clear so far in this Premier Air welcome here this evening. Just a little move there to the right, puts them a little close onto that Oxter. Just a tiny tap leaves it there though. Carol Wright now and Cassandra AC for the next, the 13-year-old by Numero Uno. Numero Uno is the Belgian bred mare for Shannon Bird. Finished place in the ranking classes at Paso Robles as well in the last few weeks as well. Not too much experience into these World Cup shows. A different line of attack. Actually might be, again, depending on your horse, of course, but actually seemed to work well for them up to that first. Gets out, gets a nice curve, a little bit more space to 5. Is braked keen down to the vertical at the Marietta fence again, just drifts a little, gives it a little bit more space going into this double. Keeping moving though. A little bit unsettled coming in here, but okay. Yeah, it's just starting to get a little inverted through the double. Coming home on the 4, time should be okay. Going to leave 1 on the floor at 75.72, and it's going to be 4 there for Carol Wright. And Cassandra AC goes into 6th place at the moment. Just struggled to get out there as they just left the back legs behind as they started to come off to the right. Charlie Jones now, Capital 6. The Morningstar Sport Horses. By San Patriano Cassini from the For Pleasure line. Morningstar Sport Horses being Carrie Rufer. Charlie, who's been based in California for a little while now. His parents who were both successful show jumpers back in the UK. Charlie, 24 years of age now, finished 8th place in the recent T-Bird Grand Prix in Vancouver as they finished off their season, well, the outdoor season there. The latter stages of that up in Langley, British Columbia. Several top 5s at Spruce Meadows this season. A 2-star win there as well for Charlie. Nicely done so far. Nice to see Charlie stepping up into these World Cup shows. His mother Alison, who was a silver medalist at the European Championships. Charlie becoming a good producer. Young horses through as well. Gets a nice straight shot through the double. Coming home. It's going to be close on time. Going to be very close on time. Just going to leave them on the 178.82. Very well plotted round, but just the one on the scoreboard for Great Britain's Charlie Jones and Capital 6. So puts them into 4th place at the moment. Their little touch of the vertical on the way into the double. Going on to Jill Humphrey now, the US rider for the Branscombe Farms with Chromatic BF. 12-year-old by Connor for this gelding on the lines of concept. Jill, who competed past at the World Cup finals back in 2007, actually finished 3rd here just a couple of weeks ago in the 2-star competitions here in Sacramento. Jill, not so much recent experience in these World Cup shows. Good shot down that line. Just got to be careful not to drift too far going there. Gets out, gets a little move a couple of strides away to straighten up for the vertical. Jumps big into that double and does well coming out. Weighs down the anchors coming down the line to get the 4. Sits up for this double. Good balanced shot through there. This is looking a really good round so far. Time-wise should be okay as well, and we'll leave the last 74.91 and adds to our clears. So another one feeling good is Jill Humphrey and Chromatic BF, 74.91, but they'll go back in their same order for that next round. So 4 of them on the clear list. Jill Humphrey, Matt Archer, Carrie Reefer and Nick Gamboa at this stage, hitting the halfway stage of this Premier Air class. As we see, just the arena team putting things ready for the drag. Just as we've hit the halfway stage. So we'll be taking a little break. Those are the clears so far. Nicholas Gamboa, Carrie Reefer, Matt Archer and Jill Humphrey. Down to Charlie Jones just on the 1 time for Cassio Vetti on the 2. Goes into 6th place as it stands at the moment. $78,000 Premier Air welcome here this evening. Part of this Sacramento Horse Show. Sean Cassidy was the opening rider, finishing on 4 at 75.59. Cal Wright, another very good round there with Cassandra AC just dropping the 1 rail. And Nicole Hornet there on just the 5, as is Imra O'Neill. It's a fence down and a time fault in there. And just unfortunately 2 down for Robert Blanchette and Chardonnay. And taking us further down the list for those after this first section of riders. So just going to be a few moments, and we'll be back with you in a few minutes' time for the resumption of the first round of this Premier Air welcome here this evening in Sacramento. 4 with a 0 score against the names so far, just as the tractors do their work, and back in a few minutes.
but that's such a blessing, yeah. Turn every situation into heaven, yeah. Oh, you are my sunrise on the darkest day. Got me feeling some kind of way. Make me wanna savor every moment slowly, slowly. You fit me, tailor-made, love how you put it on. Got the only key, know how to turn it on. The way you nibble on my ear, the only words I wanna hear. Baby, take it slow so we can last long. Tú eres el imán y yo soy el metal. Me voy acercando y voy armando el plan. Solo con pensarlo se acelera el pulso. Oh yeah, ya me está gustando más de lo normal. Todos mis sentidos van pidiendo más. Esto hay que tomarlo sin ningún apuro. Despacito, quiero respirar tu cuello despacito. Deja que te diga cosas al oído, para que te acuerdes si no estás conmigo. Despacito, quiero desnudarte a besos despacito. Firmo en las paredes de tu laberinto y hacer de tu cuerpo todo un manuscrito. Quiero ver bailar tu pelo, quiero ser tu ritmo. Que le enseñes a mi boca tus lugares favoritos. Déjame sobrepasar tus zonas de peligro, hasta provocar tus gritos y que olvides tu apellido. Si te pido un beso, vendámelo. Yo sé que estás pensándolo. Llevo tiempo intentándolo. Mami, esto estando y dándolo. Sabe que tu corazón conmigo te hace bam bam. Sabe que esa beba está buscando de mi bam bam. Me pruebas de mi boca para ver cómo te sabe. Quiero ver cuánto amor a ti te cabe. Yo no tengo prisa, yo me quiero dar el viaje. Empezamos lento, después salvaje. Pasito a pasito, suave, suavecito. Nos vamos pegando poquito a poquito. Cuando tú me besas con esa destreza, veo que eres malicia con delicadeza. Pasito a pasito, suave, suavecito. Nos vamos pegando poquito a poquito. Y es que esa belleza es un rompecabezas, pero para montarlo aquí tengo la pieza, oye. Despacito, quiero respirar tu cuello despacito. Deja que te diga cosas al oído, para que te acuerdes si no estás conmigo. Despacito, quiero desnudarte a besos despacito. Firmo en las paredes de tu laberinto y hacer de tu cuerpo todo un manuscrito. Quiero ver bailar tu pelo, quiero ser tu ritmo. Que le enseñes a mi boca tus lugares favoritos. Déjame sobrepasar tus zonas de peligro, hasta provocar tus gritos y que olvides tu apellido. Despacito, this is how we do it down in Puerto Rico. I just wanna hear you screaming, ay bendito. I can go forever cuando esté contigo. Pasito a pasito, suave, suavecito. Nos vamos pegando poquito a poquito. Que le enseñes a mi boca tus lugares favoritos.
Well, set to get back underway as we go into the second half of the first round of this Premier Air Welcome here this evening in Sacramento. Night is dropped, lights are up here in the indoor arena. And we'll go on to Harley Brown and the 12-year-old Guillaume ES by L'Âme de Fétane for Helen Carnstead. And for Harley, actually, Riley came originally from Australia back in 2003, World Cup finals 2009. Actually finished one of his best in the World Cup finals in Las Vegas before now. So just a reminder, those 4 clears so far. We saw 1-on-1 time fault with Charlie Jones, 2 time faults from Cassio Rivetti early on. A couple of second rides to come up for some of those riders as well. Neatly steps through the double. And look back up to balance up for this line. Stretches out for 5, all right. And unfortunately, Going to have two parts to double down. Looks to weave their way back to this penultimate oxer. The couple on the floor is going to have some time faults there as well. And leaves them at 80.16 and 11 at Harley Brown and Guillaume ES for the Australian. See above the mix of flags a long list of nations competing here over the last few years as part of this Longines World Cup show here in Sacramento. So will culminate on Saturday night. Tomorrow night we'll bring the speed class as well. There's the clears so far. Nick Gamboa, Carrie Rufer, Matt Archer and Jill Humphrey, the clears to date. Some very well put together rounds. Just seems to be a little hold before our next. So this is kicking off the North American League for the Longines World Cup Series. It'll keep us very busy over the coming months. Everywhere from Washington, the National Horse Show, to Toronto, to Fort Worth. That will complete things for 2023. And that all lead towards the final 2024 Saudi Arabia. Sellout crowds expected over the weekend here to watch in California. Just had a change in the order with Ansley Wright coming up with Diamonto JTZ. Was due to be Reagan 2. Ansley with this 11-year-old by Diamontosemi. Ansley actually another of the young riders here, competing in the Young Rider Championships this year, 19 years of age. Unfortunately, another one to have that first fence down. Now getting the confident run going. So a few first-timers into these World Cup shows, and again back indoors. The line down there, I haven't seen that Marietta fence drop, I think, yet. Has ridden well so far. Just starts to get a little close on the 4 strides coming out of that related distance. Time looking good. 4 will still put them in the money as it stands at the moment. And as long as they stay at that, but the last fence is going to drop, so it isn't going to be 73.95 for Ansley Wright and Diamonto JTZ. And so a score of 8 will put them into 14th place at the moment. Good look across this indoor arena. I say that will be packed out for the weekend. For at this stage, booking their place into the jump off for this welcome class. Just coming into the lights will be Simon Schroeder of Germany and Charlie Redwine CS. Just an 8-year-old by Kornita Bolensky for the German rider. Also for Ratmos Simshewitz alongside the rider. It's a line of Voltaire. First FEI show in a little while for the German rider. History of competing in Europe and now headed out here to California. A little close to the vertical, leaves it there. Just looking for the control around the corner. Say, an 8-year-old ride, just get some balanced. A little bit of discussion going down that line between the two of them. Better line for them there. Out of the corner, takes the pace off. And again, a few youthful mistakes creeping in. Takes the pace right down, getting them balanced up for the Oxer here. That's going to come down as well. And it's going to put a good bit of time on the scorecard. 23 is going to be the score there for Simon Schroeder and Charlie Redwine CS. 84.68. 23 for the German rider, as I say, with an 8-year-old by Kornita Bolensky. Camilo Rueda now and My Boy Blue, 9-year-old for the Colombian rider. Team rider to finish silver previously at the Central American Games. Last year competing at the World Championships. Last few weeks top 5 in Del Mar in the Grand Prix there in September. Further back, 2-star Grand Prix winner in Mexico City in April. It'll move off to the right to get them across the wall for a line down to this vertical. Nice little spring at the finish there for the 5. Just cuts the line a little coming to 2.5 and has it down. the 4 nicely again. 9-year-old horse pairing had not so much experience in these big classes. Overall, good round so far, despite having that fence down there to add it to 8 faults. The Royal Electric vertical to complete. 75.56, and it's going to be 8 faults for Camilo Rueda there, and My Boy Blue, the 9-year-old, getting more experience into this World Cup show here this week in Sacramento. Sophia Siegel now, and this is going to be a second ride for her. A girl this time, the 30-year-old I mentioned a little bit earlier on, the Swedish bred mare for Sophia. So for the 21-year-old, finished second here last during this World Cup qualifier in Sacramento. Similarly second in 4-star Grand Prix in Thermal in March of 2023. So a few of the second shots coming now. Good run down to 5. Get off the wall again, get the angle. Steps over the Marietta vertical easily enough. Nice little bounce through the double as well. This has become a really nice partnership together. Time-wise doing well as well. Just clips one. And the last as well. So last 2 fences coming down for them. 8 falls to 76.52 for Sophia Siegel this time. And A girl so close. Final 2 though drop to the arena floor. Laura Height now, the US rider with HH Fast Forward, another from hailing here from California. HF Farms, 11-year-old Irish-bred horse by Fortunas. The HHS prefix coming from the heritage horses of Marion Hughes. And he rode a list of very good horses, including the great Grey Flojo. Laura Height. Placed well in Thermal, California, at the Desert Horse Park. Early part of the year. And a rider with a good bit of experience into these big classes. Greg looking good so far. Nice balanced shot down that line. Doesn't waste any time on the turn. Can't afford to based on the times we've seen so far. Going to drop a rail there at the vertical bend and set themselves up for this final couple of fences. A little bit close on the clock as well. Might just pick up a time fault. Yes, they do. Total of 5. 78.60 for Laura Height this time. So total of 5 overall puts Laura into 9th place as it stands. Picks up in front but drags it away behind. See Cassio Rivetti on a second ride now. Very close with his first. Still looking to put himself into the jump of Odessa's Vidal 8 for Cassio Rivetti and the Monarch Farms. 11-0 by Vigo de Suey. Actually, big championship lines. Vigo de Suey and Balobé de Rouet. Both stallions in the line here. You can see a little bit of both of those stallions in this horse. Well, it's no bad thing considering those two account for 2 horses that have won the World Championship. 98 and 2010 respectively. Now for the Brazilian Olympian. Certainly not short of jumping ability. One of the few to have that. Maybe just a little bit of a move to the left as they came to it. Just got a little off their balance. Just a shift. On the 4. Hops up. Again, just flattens off going into the double. Time-wise, going to be a little bit close on that as well. It's going to be 8 and 1 for time for Cassio Rivetti this time. So 78.01. Just puts them over by the tiniest fraction, but it is going to be a total of 9 there for Cassio and Odessa's Vidal S. But certainly giving it some air over the Longines. Just made a bit of a move on the turn, just carrying on around the turn, and lost a bit of a height as they went to the right. Liza Bros now, and second ride for her. This time it's Crispo R, the 10-year-old by Casal. For Liza and Hidalgo LLC. It's a 10-year-old by Corrado. So second ride for the 19-year-old from California. Third in the Vegas World Cup qualifier last year. 4th here as well in Sacramento. Gets a bit of drive energy. Related line. Gets the control back for 5. And doesn't have it going into the double. Efficient on the turn, pushes off the wall there, down to get across that oxer. Again, just encourages you forward, those double verticals sitting there. Very easy to have those down. She does it very effectively in terms of how she should do it. Unfortunately, has that one down. Bends the line to that final skinny. It's going to be 8 at 75.68. 2 down this time for Eliza Bros and Crispo Ars. They fish on 8 fulls and to 17th place. The ride for Jacqueline Atkinson now. This is Kudula Atkinson's 13-year-old by Centadel. Centigraph BVR. Year-old by Centadel from the line of Berggraf, hence the name. Again, just not quite as balanced down that line as they would have liked. A couple of big strides, hold back then and then trying to go. And gets keen down that line as well. Has another couple down in the double. Again, just getting a balance down there. So she says, thank you very much. And decides to retire there for Jacqueline Atkinson and Centigraph BVR. Portugal now represented by Bruno Diniz, and this is Gucci Mustard, the 12-year-old by Balabedo Rue. Horse that came from the Stefex stables. Sitting on the clears so far. Finished well with Carrius in the Blenheim Surf and Turf Grand Prix back into May of this year. Still clear. Former ride of Emily Conser of Belgium. Again, just gets close. Lies on that first part of the double. On the 4. Out and bending for the last. Needs them on the 4 at 76.49. Just on 4 faults for Bruno Diniz das Neves of Portugal and Gucci Mustard. 31st of 36 in this class now, and it's Skylar Wyman now. Skylar with a second ride here, this time the 9-year-old Swedish bred gelding by Diorado. Out of a Chaco Blue mare, Tornado for Skylar. The 18-year-old and recent winner in Del Mar. Skylar following on from the Sheena. Picked up the bug for horses. Certainly has been in contention over the last 12 months in a list of classes from the hunters to the jumpers over here in California. Based out of Bonsall, California. So second place last year in a good battle. Vegas and looks to be top of the tables once again, 75-7-1. Skylar Wyman and Tornado breeze their way through to a clear as well here in Sacramento. Takes us up to 5 of those set to return. Skylar Wyman, Jill Humphrey, Matt Archer, Carrie Rufer and Nick Gamboa to date. Matt Archer looking to follow on from that clear that he's already scored, this time with Reese Farms. Monseigneur, the 11-year-old Belgian bred horse by Halifax. The second ride for the rider from San Francisco. Nice shot at the first. Couple of options in reins coming there. Sometimes they've gone up into the corner. You just feel they get a little bit stuck in there. Some have made a little bit of a smoother turn on the left rein coming to one. Whatever feel suits you best. Keen down there. Confidently takes on the vertical. Good so far. Would love to get 2 into the jump off. And this pairing really looking in. I think they call it commentator's curse, but they were looking in really good form up to that point. Just a little hesitant coming into that double. Coming home on the 4. Going to be a fraction over the time as well. Total of 5, 78.53 for Monseigneur and Matt Archer. But some really good highlights in that round. And we'll see him back into jump off a little later on with a different ride. Just get a little out. the balance. So he just skewed the body and had that first vertical down. Charlie Jane now. Charlie with the 9-year-old Irish bred Ultimate Cooley by OBOS Quality. This is for Charlie and Nicole. Caleb Equine Ventures, the open horses as well. A rider well established into these World Cup classes. It's made the trip over here to California. The East Coast rider looking to get some good points potentially here this week in Sacramento. Got a good inside shot to 3. Tidy pickup in front for that set of fences. Charlie guiding this 9-year-old well around this course. Picks up in front, almost crosses the feet. We've seen in a number of top horses over the years, just a little trait there. But just the key part is very cleanly round. And, it's almost bellies the last, actually. Finishing on 4 there, 76.38. Just final fence coming down into 10th position for Charlie Jane and Ultimate Cooley. And just lies onto that final skinny. Coming to our final few riders, I think 3 left in total in the first round of this Premier Air welcome here this evening. Jill Humphrey now of the USA. Branscombe Farms at Sonata BF, the 12-year-old mare by Diorado. Second ride for Jill here, as I say, former World Cup finalist. Finishing well here in the last month. Third place in the 2-star sections, now moving up into this 4-star week as part of this World Cup show. Jill Humphrey with a 1 clear already with Chromatic BF. Ooh, just gives that a little bounce in the cups. Just again finding a nice rhythm around this course. Just getting a little closer through that double. Got some space there, but reaches for it and has it down. So she's going to have 1 instant jump off regardless. That's going to drop as well. Leads them on a score of 8, 74.30 for Jill Humphrey. So second of her 2 rides, Sonata BF, and home and in on her first into that jump off. Well, Caroline and Lynn now, and Deluxe Ento, 15-year-old by Cardento from the line of Lux. See how we got there? Pairing that were 9th in the Grand Prix in Del Mar in the last month. It's been a super partner for her through this year. One of 2 she rides through the FEI classes. Hercule the other. Jumped with Hercule in the World Cup qualifier here last year. Early 4 for Caroline. A good couple of seasons as a partnership here, though. Full ride of Craig Starr of the US. We need to keep it at the 4, and again 4 is for some prize money potentially here this evening. Time-wise, though, hence a little hesitant, and it gets a good way off. Unfortunately, that Oxa, yeah, it's going to have some time. Going to be 11 in total, 2 down. 80.69 for Caroline and Lynn, and Deluxe Ento. I think takes us through to our final pairing to go, and that's Olivia Cliver. Hailing from Midland, Texas. She competed in the show at Fort Worth last year as well. Corner 69, the 10-year-old for Olivia. Full ride of Tanaka Rotkin. Finished 6th in a similar class to this at Tryon back into July of this year. Solid so far. Good to the double. Time-wise, doing okay as well. Wending their way for the final couple of fences. Just keep moving at this pace. They should be okay. And should book them a place. Just does at 77.51, so they'll be last to go in that jump off as well. So Olivia Cleaver and Connor 69 producing the clear as part of the first round of this Premier Air Welcome. Super round for them. Nicely at the skinny at the last. Nice and efficient all the way down for Olivia. So it looks like making the move into the jump off. Azevedo, our course designer, just heading out with the team to make the adjustments ready for the jump off stage. Here are those going to return for the final showdown for the $78,000 Premier Air Welcome. Nicholas Gamboa with NKH Mr. Darcy, Carrie Rufus, Stern de Folletti, Matt Archer, Luigi Van der Bisschop, Jill Humphrey and Chromatic BF, Skylar Wireman and Tornado and Olivia Cleaver and Connor 69. Those just missing out. One time fault. Still nice round for Charlie Jones and Capital 6. Similarly for Cassio Rivetti and Billy DeRito. 2-time this time. 4 faults for the first out of the starting blocks today. Sean Casti and NKH Cento Blue. Carol Wright, Cassandra there down on the fours. 5 faulters, including Matt Archer's second ride. Laura Heights, Uma O'Neill, Nicole Hornet there, and Skylar Wyman on the 6 as well, as is Eliza Bros. Robert Blanchett and Chardonnay, Anthony Wright up to the 8s, as is Sophia Siegel there, and A-Girl as they finish on the 8 faults. 9 for Cassie Rivetti and Dess's Vidal 8. 11s, 16s, 18s are the teen scores for the latter part of the order, and take us down to the final few here as part of this class. So getting set for the jump off of this $78,000 Premier Air Welcome as the team make the adjustments to the course, and we'll take you through exactly what those are in a few moments' time as well. Getting set for that jump off, 52 seconds time allowed. 7 jumping obstacles, 8 efforts. Marina Azevedo of Brazil, the course designer here. Shortened course for this is 1, 2, 3, 11A, 11B, 12, 15, and 7. 15 fence 5 in the opposite direction with the vertical there. And then finally fence 7, the Marietta fence, I think just to the left of your shot will be the final fence in that jump off round as well. So 1, 2, 3, 11AB and 12. So alongside the arena side, 11AB, sharp turn up the centre to an oxer at 12, 15, which is say is fence 5 in reverse, and then down the arena to fence 7 for the jump off. Off we go with the lineup for the jump-off then of this $78,000 Premier Air Welcome. Nick Gamboa will start us off with NKH Mr. Darcy. Carrie Roofer, Stender Folletti, Matt Archer will go third with Luigi van der Bishop. Joe Humphrey with Chromatic BF, Skylar Wireman, and Tornado and Olivia Cliver to complete with Connor 69. That's the lineup of what's coming up for our jump-off of this opening class of Sacramento, this World Cup week here. Short course over Marina's track to decide the first big classes. So we're back with speed tomorrow evening as well, and then Saturday for that Longines World Cup qualifier as well. Well, all maintained to perfect condition, and we are away into our jump-off for this Premier Air welcome stake here tonight in Sacramento. So off we go into the jump-off, and terrific lineup coming up for this, and it is starting off Nick Gamboa and NKH Mr. Darcy. First of these jump-off rounds, 6 of them to go against the clock to decide this $78,000 class here tonight. And Nick to be the first to take on the short course designed by Marina Azevedo. Little look at what will be that final fence down to the Murrieta fence to complete. Familiar start. Back to that first fence. Again, I think most going to come at this on that left rein now. Good shot down at 2. Again, plenty of room down. They get their 8 or 9 strides there. Probably 8. Nice little cut inside. A little bit too tight, though, as they try and slice across. Has the back bar of that Oxa. Nice sliding move through the double of verticals. Keeps bending the line through there. Back up the arena. They come back to then a fence in reverse from the first round. Fence 5. Opposite direction this time. This long run down to the last. Absolute mile between those final 2 fences, and it is giving them plenty of room to gallop to it. Finishing on 4:44.31 for Nick Gamboa and NKH Mr. Darcy. First off of the jump off here tonight, but just having that one fence down. Made a very good effort at that. Got high, didn't get the width though, as they went again slice off over that Longines Oxa. Second up, and winner of the welcome class here last year in Sacramento, Carrie Rufer now, the Morningstar Sport Horses Stern di Folletti. 12-year-old by Toulon for the rider with a base over in La Quinta in California. Recent Grand Prix winner in Paso Robles. Super chance to start off the week here in Sacramento in fine style for Carrie. Nice shot at the first. A little bit tight to that second of vertical. Good balance turn inside. Gets a little bit straighter to the Longines fence. Gets across it but tight to it. Efficient so far. Step up through it. And again, Jackson makes a little move to the right out of the double. Saves good couple of feet there too. Still coming on a 0 score. Now she's up the pace. Now she's got this big galloping finish to bring this to a close. Now she can opens up the rein, gallops on down to the last, can chance it, take a skip at the final fence, and they'll get there at 43.91. Very good run from Carrie Rufer and Stern de Folletti to lead the way here this evening in Sacramento. That certainly lights it up. Looking good. Nice move there through the double. Bent the line. Good straight shot to the Royal Electric fence. I was saying, get a real run down to the last. It's a long way down there to really count the numbers. Gets a good pace to it, and that's what counts. Going to be Matt Archer now and Luigi van de Bishop. The 12-year-old by Bameko Demise to the Reese Farm. Carrie Rufer setting the pace, 43.91 of part of tonight's welcome stake. Looks like he took a stride out down there against Carrie Rufer. Good shot there too for Matt. Motoring into this. Oh, again, I think he's lost the stirrup there as well. Hasn't worried about it too much on that left side. Keeps going. Just maybe slowing him a fraction. 43.91. If he leaves this, he should have the lead here. Stirrup bouncing, doesn't matter. He's going to be home in 42.68. Faster time for Matt Archer and Luigi van der Bisschop, minus the pedal. Plenty of cheers in the stadium for him for doing that one as well. Just ignored it, just got on with it. And now leads the way, 42.68 for Matt Archer. Just seeing where he lost that. Yeah, there it looks as though may have just been a little before that, actually. So Matt Archer giving them a target. One pedalled around the course. Jill Humphrey and Chromatic BF, the 12-year-old. By Connor for the Branscombe Farm. Former World Cup finalist. Top three of the last few weeks as well. Should come in here with confidence with that recent good finish here in Sacramento as well. Little look around. Matt Archer not leaving a lot on the table. There we go. A little lighter. Off we go. Tip of the hat and away. 42.68 to beat. Good start, getting nicely up to that left side. Keeps moving down here. Very tight. Gets it. She can bend the line here a little bit as well. It helps you. Maybe goes a little more towards the centre than Matt Archer did, but maybe made up a little bit earlier on. Now she's galloping with confidence. Jill Humphrey and Chromatic BF going for the line. 42.68 time to beat again. Leave it up and she's there. It is going to be a good one. It's faster again. 40.67. Flyer of a night here in Sacramento. Jill Humphrey now leads the way. 40.67, just certainly giving the crowd something this evening as they get faster and faster in this opening welcome stake here tonight. Got some good early pace on the rounds. Skylar Wyman and Tornado. 9-year-old here. Not sure how much she'll ask of this one. For another of the young riders in the field. Just 18 years of age. Recent winner in Del Mar. She was well in the mix, battling with the Irish last year in the World Cup qualifier series as well as they headed to Vegas. Certainly held her own against them. Now comes on a different rein. Helps to keep a real good forward motion down to 2. Almost slows them down a little bit. Certainly not slowing there. So close, just flicking the petals, but maybe a little too close as they come round into the double. Doesn't work out for them. Brave effort though. Here we go again. That's what they intended to do. Even meant to bend the line a little on the second time as well. Just a couple of fences to bring it home for them. Very good try. I say just 18-year-old rider. I think you're going to see a lot more of. Featured a little into the World Cups last year. And gets home with a 4 this time. 50.68 for Skylar Wyman and Tornado. So still leaves then Jill Humphrey at the top at 40.67 0.67. Matt Archer in second, and Carrie Reefer in third as it stands. Turn up here to the Oxer. Good shot there. Tight around, and then was just not getting the focus onto that double. Final pairing to go is Olivia Cliver now and Connor 69. 10-year-old by Connor for the contender line for the On The Mark equestrian. Good ground cover to the second. Drifts a little bit further out. Coming back to the Longines Oxer. Put a little bit of bend out that double of verticals. Pretty good, but maybe a little bit of ground to make up through these final couple of fences. 40.67 the target. Now needs to really go. Now needs to chase. Not going to be far away, but not quite enough. Should get them in a good place here tonight. 42.56. And so for the final combination there, that will put them into second place for Olivia Cliver and Connor 69. So it's a win for Jill Humphrey and Chromatic BF. Very well done to them. And they will finish ahead. And there we see a little look back at the round of Olivia, our final rides to go. Good mix of some young horses, some young riders, some well-established partnerships here tonight in Sacramento. And looking forward to tomorrow's speed class as well that features two. But to wrap it up, Jill Humphrey is the winner here tonight. Nice win on the cards for Jill and Chromatic BF. And Olivia Cliver, as we just saw, finishing into second spot with Connor 69. Matt Archer taking third in the end on 42.68. Not much between them with Carrie Reefer and Stenda Folletti finishing in fourth. Nicholas Gamboa leading us off, but with the fence down for him. Sees him in fifth place, and sixth place to Skylar Wyman in the end. So that's the lineup, top six in this class here this evening to wrap things up here from Sacramento. Super lineup once again, and our thanks to the team. As I say, we'll be bringing you more action over the next couple of days with the speed class here tomorrow evening, and then on Saturday evening that Longines World Cup qualifier. But tonight's winner of the Premier Air $78,000 class is congratulations to Jill Humphrey and Chromatic BF. Look forward to seeing you over the next few days here from California.
Tell me what you really like. Baby, I can take my time. We don't ever have to fight. Just take it step by step. I can see it in your eyes, 'cause they never tell me lies. I can feel that body shake and the heat between your legs. You've been scared of love and what it did to you. You don't have to run. I know what you can do. Just a simple touch and it can set you free. We don't have to rush when you're alone with me. I feel it coming. I feel it coming, babe. what you hide. Faded off this touch. You don't need a lonely night, so baby I can make it right. You just gotta let me try to give you what you want. You've been scared of love and what it did to you. You don't have to run, I know what you can do. Just a simple touch and it can set you free. We don't have to rush when you're alone with me.
champion be honored this evening with the playing of the American National Anthem. So ladies and gentlemen, please rise and join me in honoring Chromatic BF and the rider from the USA, Jill Humphrey. Have our presentation party make it official and meet tonight's champion Jill Humphrey and Chromatic for the Branscombe Farm. Joining us, Ross Gordy and Bailey Paul for Team Air, Dale Harvey for West Palm Events, and for Sacramento National, Caroline. Of course, Dale Casey joining us here from Branscombe Farm, Jill's trainer, Chris Carter, longtime friend Rudy Lewis. congratulations, of course, to our champion Jill Humphrey and Chromatic BF as our presentation party makes their way down the line. Your second place award to the American Olivia Cliver for the on-mark equestrian Connor 69. A third place finish for the American Matt Archer and Luigi Van de Bischoff for Reese Farms. A fourth place award to Carrie Roofer aboard the Morningstar Sport Horses entry Stern de Folletti. From Colombia, Nicholas Gamboa and NKH Mr. Darcy take home fifth. Sixth place award to the American Skylar Wireman owning and showing Tornado. From Great Britain, Charlie Jones and Capital 6 from Morningstar Sport Horses takes home seventh. And from Brazil, Cassio Rivetti and Billy Dorito round out our top eight in the $78,000 Premier Air Welcome. Of course, thanking Bailey Paul and Ross Gordy from Premier Air, our proud sponsor of this evening's event, as they make their way back to the red carpet. We have one more request from our champion, Jill Humphrey and Chromatic BF. Let's lead the way in the victory ride. Your winner, representing the Bradscombe Farms entry, Chromatic BF, the 12-year-old Oldenburg, and Jill Humphrey from the USA, taking the first international class this week at the Sacramento International World Cup Week. Jill Humphrey and Chromatic BF, your winner. Ladies and gentlemen, thank all of you for joining us. Don't forget the party that's going to be taking place right over here behind us in VIP. Congratulations to all 8 of our top finishers. Jill Humphrey, Olivia Cliver, Matt Archer, Carrie Roofer, Nicholas Gamboa, Skylar Wireman, Charlie Jones, and Cassio Rivetti. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to turn it over to the ones and twos downstairs as our DJ joining us here this evening. DJ Nick, 916, joining us here down by the bar.